Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily.
And I'm Nisebelle.
And we're coming at you live from Seattle. I don't know why I always say live when, like, obviously it's being recorded.
Well, I mean, we're recording it live.
We're live.
Yeah. Well, like, we're not going to do 17 takes of this.
No.
Right?
This is absolutely not the second, third, nor fourth take.
No, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. Always check your gain settings, friends, because sometimes you clip. So I made you laugh because this is a fully serious way I check microphones. I just go, yep, check. And I don't know why I started doing that, but I think it worked. I think it's effective.
Yeah, no, everyone's got their, like, weird things, I think, they do, like, when they're checking microphones. So I think I told you before, I got my start as an audio engineer. And so, like, when I was working live sound gigs, one of the engineers I used to work with, he would always go up to the mic and would say, Christina Aguilera, into the mic for 15 minutes straight. And his logic was, this gets you your sibilance test, it gets you your, like, plosives, it gets you...
Where's the plosive in Christina
That's a good
Aguilera?
question. I guess he was counting the T as a plosive.
Yeah, I guess that would do it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no P's, no B's. I guess a heavy glottal stop on the G, you know?
You do what you must do.
Absolutely.
And to keep yourself entertained because it's boring.
It is, and I don't know if there's find me someone who, like, feels cool and looks cool checking a microphone, because I've yet to meet that person.
Man, once I did a sound check with my friend in Nashville where it's just like, you don't play wagon wheel. And so we checked with wagon wheel, but instead of actually singing it, we just meowed.
That's amazing.
We were so sober, being so weird. It's like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I guess,
I feel that.
2019, yeah.
Dude, growing up, like, in that peak emo culture scene, like, seeing kids on MySpace, you know, teased up hair, all that stuff, we would check the microphones saying things like Shrek 1, or Chex Mix.
That sounds very, very, that sounds right. That hits right for scene kids.
Yeah, it's a very raw XD bullshit. You know?
I don't know if scene kids turned into hipsters directly. I don't know if that, like, happened, because I was not a scene kid per se. I was friends with the scene kids, but I was, like, listening to Americana.
Okay.
So that was weird. They didn't like my music, and I was like, yours is not great either.
If I can speak to my own evolution,
please.
I think yes.
Okay.
Because, you know, the same fake dummy glasses that all the scene kids were wearing became the hipster glasses, because then those kids, once they hit, like, high school, college, needed real glasses. Yeah. Like, hey, I've been wearing these fake ones all my life. I might as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There was a kid at my college who didn't even have frames in his.
Like, no lenses, you mean?
No, I'm sorry, no lenses in his frames.
Okay, I was like, you mean contacts?
I've had so much coffee today. No, I've had none. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I should work on that.
Yeah, so I didn't sleep great last night because I was too busy watching my cat chase her tail right there for, like, no, I couldn't sleep. So I came in here and then she was, like, loving this open space. This is my new space, guys. Like, it is bigger than the previous space. I obviously still need to decorate, though I've started.
I love it.
Thank you. It has to go back downstairs, though.
Oh, that's a shame. I'll say, is
shame.
this supposed to be your cat here?
It's Gary. But so I woke up. I was like, I would love to make a toasted English muffin, and it wasn't already cut, so I went to cut it, and I'm holding it up, right, like a fucking idiot. And I did slice my finger right before you came over.
You woke up and chose violence.
Violence chose me. Violence chose me. So I think it's fine. It was kind of like on the upper part of the finger, so it's not like I will have any trouble playing or fretting, but I cried. I was so sad. I was so tired. And then you wake up and you slice the shit out of your finger with a serrated knife. You're like, I don't want to get stitches.
Yeah, I mean, like, from my perspective, I was, like, starting to get really worried because... So here's how it was from my end. I texted Emily. I'm like, hey, is it all right if I come over, you know, at this time? And she's like, I think so. But I just kind of cut the shit out of my finger. So let me text you back in 5 minutes. 20 minutes goes by. And I'm like, I think she's dead. Like,
I didn't know anything about
happening.
that. Because Rick said we can look at your finger in 5 minutes. And then I was kind of like not doing anything. And then I was like, is it 5 minutes yet? He's like, no. And then he was like, so it's not bleeding through the gauze.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about something else.
Absolutely.
Fender's had a big month, like past 4 weeks at least. They released the Fender 2 series line, which I think you can attest to fucking rules.
It is incredible. From what I played so far now in that line, I've played 2 of the 7 releases.
Nice.
Like the Jazz Master,
Yeah.
and I played the Telia Guitar Center the other day. I am looking for the bass 6. I want to play this Fender 2 bass 6 so badly, and I can't find it anywhere. So.
Well, I know one person who is supposed to demo it, and he hasn't gotten it yet, as far as I know.
Okay.
But what he did get was the Tone Master Pro, their floorboard modeling unit. And so I have the Tone Master Super Reverb, and I really like that amplifier. I think it sounds, pretty good. It's not as good as like my Benson, of course.
That's fair.
But it gets the job done, and it weighs like nothing. So I'm kind of confused about the name Tone Master Pro. Obviously, they're going off the fact that the Tone Master amps did well, but it seems to me the technology and like the layout and all of it's more reminiscent of the Mustang GTX 100 and stuff like that. But I guess you can do more effect chains. So is that the vibe that you got? Because obviously it's that the Mustang had like a bunch of different amp sounds, a bunch of different effects, and you use your phone to like chain them together.
Yeah, I mean, from what I was looking into it, was that it does seem much more as like a development of that Mustang line as opposed to the Tone Master part was kind of confusing. But yeah, it just seems like it's taking that Mustang platform, using some what they've developed in the Tone Master line as far as like the amp, I don't know if you want to call it emulation, but just their digital amps. And kind of positioning it as a direct competitor to something like the Helix.
Yes, and it is $1,700, $1,699 or something like that. And was it Neural DSP that then immediately dropped the price of theirs?
Yep.
Like, they're like, well, our stuff's cheaper now, so we're passing those savings along to you. I'm like, well, that timing is suspicious.
It really is. Almost like they're trying to get ahead of something.
Almost like it, because like that, like, it's not the new thing anymore. Yeah. Obviously, and even, like, I don't really know which is better. I feel like I've heard people talk about their issue with that is there's like a lag between switching amp modes, and that makes it relatively unplayable if you need to do that. Switch amp modes like mid-song.
Totally, yeah.
So I'm like, well, I understand why that would have a latency, but also I can understand why, for you in particular, it would make it unusable.
That might be a problem if you're trying to do that. I feel like the last thing that you want on stage is for things not to act instantaneously. Can you imagine there's a delay in switching pickups?
Oh my God.
Or like, hold on, my pedal needs to buffer before I turn it on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. So I don't know if the Tone Master does that. I haven't gotten to play one.
Yeah.
They look really cool, and everyone I know who's tried one really likes it. And and I don't know, that's not my world. Like, I have an HX Stomp XL, and that's my full foray into that and like the Pod Go and stuff. But I've never played with like an actual Helix floor unit or anything like that. Have you?
I've played with the Helix a little bit, and I actually was a pretty big fan of it. Like, full disclosure, I'm not like the hugest fan of those multi-effects units. I kind of get a little bit paralyzed by choice.
Yeah.
I think
especially with like the routing choices, because sometimes you can do really complex routing with some of these. I had the Boss like 100 GT Core, like whatever that was, like their HX Stomp, and like the whole like way that they did the routing, like, this makes no sense to my baby brain.
Yeah, absolutely. And the menu diving, I think that's something that all of the units, like something like the Helix, the Neural DSP one, and possibly even this Fender one, which I have not tried either, may struggle with. But there's not really a way to get around the menu diving if you're trying to have that many different effects in there. Yeah,
when you want to do things like set lists and you want to have so many different kinds of sounds, because I do genuinely think most players can get away with a single pedal board. It's just a lot of people don't want to because they want the more things. But like, when you think about like, what are you using with your band, do you need all of the things? But if you want all of the things, you can have it. And it's really beneficial if you're like doing cover bands or in a bunch of different bands and they're all different kinds of music. Like, that's so much easier to sit down, spend a day, program it, and then before the show, you just make the set list on your phone or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, when I see these multi-effects units, the first time I saw one outside of, like, entry-level units that you see, I'm forgetting there's, like, a Digitech line where all the units were, like, $100-something.
Yeah.
One for bass, one for guitar. But the first time I saw a more professional one was the Line 6, like, the M6. Did you ever see that?
No, that's not familiar.
I might be getting it wrong, but it's definitely it starts with an M. But I saw it a lot when I used to play in musicals.
Oh.
Because that's somewhere where you would definitely need that, where every single song is almost like a different band is playing. But as far as for like a gigging musician in a band, I don't totally see the use case because you're going to use all this menu diving to find your sound and then stay on it. Maybe if you're in 50 different bands, totally.
Which, you know, a lot of people are. I play in 2 different bands, and then I do pickup gigs several times a year.
Totally.
So I do need to, like, build and rebuild boards. Good Lord. Like a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And I think, like, there's this cycle that I've noticed, too. People will sell their pedals. They'll buy a Helix or something like this, and then they'll miss pedals, and then they'll like just, okay, well, let me just sell this and get pedals again. Because there is something kind of fun about being able to just like, guitar pedals are modular. They are kind of, Rick always calls them an inconvenient hobby because every time you get one, you have to like rebuild your board around it kind of thing.
There's some fun in that. I love rebuilding my board.
yeah, I totally. I don't know, like I also see the benefit in a touring band in general because then you are reducing so much of what you have to bring. But I'll tell you, I don't think I'm alone in that. One of the most exciting things to me about the Tone Master Pro series is the FR amps, the speakers.
Oh,
Did
like
you see
the
those?
IRs?
Yeah, no, it's just like it's a full range flat response speaker that looks like a Fender amp. They have a 12-inch speaker and a 10-inch speaker.
How did I miss these? No, I've not seen that at all.
I love that there's a 10-inch speaker version. I have so when I play with the HX Stomp, I have a backup in case they don't want to run it direct. I have the power cab, and I love that thing. It doesn't super duper look like an amp. It doesn't look like a loudspeaker either, which is important. And it has like speaker module, like speaker emulators built into it. So it's more than like this FR kind of thing, which is just like, here is a speaker, full range flat response that looks like an amp. So it's like, you don't feel weird about it. Or I do really like that, and that it has a 10-inch speaker. So cool. 'Cause I just prefer the 10-inch punch sometimes.
I totally get that. Yeah. I know a lot of people love, you know, their 412s or like, I've even seen someone recently who was playing a 215 cab.
Is he a bassist?
No, it was for guitar.
Okay, how did it sound?
Deep.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was metal, so you know, time and place. But no, I think that for especially an apartment-based studio, 10-inch speaker is fantastic.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what I use too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So looking at some of the specs, because we both have it pulled up.
Totally. It comes in one color.
It comes in one.
They make it very clear that you can choose the one color.
I like that it's so funny to me. I mean, obviously this is just like something that's built into their website, so they have to do it. But it's very funny. It's $16.99. Tone Master Pro is the first no-compromise multi-effects guitar workstation that features the amazing sound quality the Tone Master series is known for. Yeah. I mean, but I guess. I mean, is it really the same technology that's being used in the amps? Like, does that mean that technically you could like do a firmware update and change like what your Tone Master amp is? Because I don't think that's quite the case. Yeah. So it features over 100 of the world's most popular amps and effects, including all of the classic Tone Master Fender models, the first officially licensed EVH 5153 Stealth model. All right.
Interesting.
Another Can't Live Without. I feel like that should be hyphenated.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Can't Live Without classics for writers.
Are you copy editing the website?
I am. I'm sorry, Fender. I would have put
this is not MLA.
I would have put hyphens in between Can't Live Without. Lightweight, rugged, stage-friendly form factor. I heard it's plastic though. but I cannot confirm.
Oh, I just assumed looking at it, like, and also
Yeah.
with the Helix and their LDSP, like, those are...
Like aluminum chassis.
Yeah.
Something. I would have expected that too. People are like, that's a deal breaker. I'm like, this is, maybe.
I mean, I've played on plastic pedals. They're fine. Yeah.
They're like, it can't withstand the rigors of the road. I'm like, it probably can.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not going to be the problem.
No, I don't think that's the issue, really.
No, I think I'd be more worried about power surges. Oh my God. You get on the stage and there's a power surge. It just fries your whole everything.
Oh, yeah, I know. My brother's had the worst luck with that. He's gone through 4 Voodoo Labs power supplies now because just of power surges or just like bad outlets at practice spaces and at stages.
That's like, well, at least it's the Voodoo Lab and not everything.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was very thankful he wasn't using in one spot. So
it says it has 100 amps and effect models and 6,000 IRs.
that's gratuitous.
That's a lot.
Plus, you can add your own. Like, it supports third-party
IR support. Yeah.
You know, I'm curious if any of these, I don't know if they do have a way that you can just record your own, as opposed to importing an IR file, but just, you know, like on a Convolution Reverb, you can import an audio file that you've recorded as your IR.
I bet you could.
Okay.
I mean, I would assume that's covered under the third-party IR support, but I don't know. I don't really do that. I always find that, like, the things that I'm given in the boxes that I pay for are pretty good.
I mean, if you're getting 6,000 IRs, 6,000. Like,
that's so many. How do you choose? They have to be, like, minor variations. Like, this is the first row at the Ryman Auditorium. This is the second, third, fourth.
This is with the SM57 1 centimeter away from the grill. This is 1.5 centimeters.
Yes, this is this Royer, this is that Royer. That's gratuitous. But at least you know that, like, if you're like, I just really like the, God, I can't even think, the Austrian audio whatever, and I'm just going to use that. Austrian audio. They're good. Those are really good microphones.
I haven't tried them out.
Yeah. 7-inch color touchscreen, and that's cool. The touchscreen is cool. I don't know if the others have touchscreens.
I thought the Helix did for some reason.
It might. At the Stomp, it's like you just like rely on the twisty knobs.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, intuitive and fine, but touchscreen.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Innovative song and setlist modes. I'm curious what makes them innovative. One thing I like about, like, the Line 6 stuff is doing snapshots, so you can, like, make changes to multiple effects at once in the same song and then go back.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love anything that has, like, an instant recall effect. Like, some of the newer digital consoles, I say newer, and this has been a thing for, like, the past decade, like, you can just recall, like, a song, and it sets all your faders, all your EQ, and that's incredible.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
60-second stereo looper. Okay.
I feel like
3 minutes would be better.
I was like, it's 60 seconds. Does that fly in 2023?
That's not very long.
No. Like, I think the Ditto X2 alone gets you, like, close to 5 minutes.
5 minutes, I think, should be the minimum. Like, that's like maybe the sweet spot. I think 3 minutes should be the minimum.
Yeah.
But
especially if you have all these options, like, it feels like the looper should be kind of a key part of that.
Yeah.
But
how much more memory would it take to make the looper longer?
Ooh, can you put in a memory card? Is that a thing? I didn't see it on here.
I don't see that. 4 effects loops. 4! like on the unit itself. 4 on the unit itself, so you can put your fuzz pedals before wherever you want it. Oh, that's actually a lot. That's kind of cool. So you could use this with other pedals, but it's so big.
Yeah, I would say if you're using it as a loop selector, that's an expensive loop selector.
Well, but at least you don't have to have another one if you want that.
That's true,
That is,
yeah.
Instrument and XLR mic input, so you can sing through it. That's really
That's
cool. I wonder if you could do separate signal chains for your vocals.
I'd assume so. Well, I mean, going back to the effects loops, like, I'm curious, like, how that routing works in terms of internal versus external.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I wonder if you can place
if there's a lot of, like, internal usage of that, then I totally see you having, like, a separate channel strip for that.
Totally. 10 proprietary foot switch encoders with LCD scribble strips. I love that. I think oh god, the people who make the Beat Buddy. I had this guy on the podcast and I've forgotten his name. The guy from War Dogs. Christ. Singular Sound. They have a MIDI, the like Selector controller, and it has the same like digital scribble strips. And he says he's the first person who did that. So
that's super handy. Because I mean, even looking at my physical pedals, I forget which one's which sometimes.
yeah, for real. True preset spillover of delay and reverb trails for seamless, so it doesn't just stop. So it's buffered bypass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Firmware updates over USB, and that also like, I'm glad they have that. That's important, but it does make me wonder about like what will happen when, because it is more of a story of when support is no longer continued for the device. And firmware updates do seem to make it so that things last longer, but
it still has a lifespan.
Like if they don't sell these like they expect to, how, like I really wish that it would say with guaranteed X years of support.
Yeah.
Like video, you buy a video game, they're like guaranteed this many years of updates sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I'm not making that up.
No, I think that's a real thing.
I think it's a real thing.
I gotta be real with you. I'm not too big into the gaming space. So.
Oh, good lord. I just mostly play Pokemon and Zelda.
Yeah, I'm like mostly playing Stardew Valley stuff.
Oh, I love Stardew Valley. Who do you marry in Stardew Valley?
Which time? Because
like, who's your go-to? Like, if you're like speed running a marriage.
If I'm speed running, Sebastian.
Really?
Yeah. Come on, emo
with
kid.
The guitar.
Like,
he lives with his mom.
Still.
No, he's sweet. I like when he takes you to his rock show.
Yeah, and also like, because you're going to the mines a bunch already. You're getting all this frozen tears. I'm not saying it's a marriage of convenience, but
at least it's like a. No wait, you have to actually go through the house to get to his little.
You do. You have to go to the basement.
Yeah, he lives in his mom's basement,
which is totally fine.
It's fine. No, Robin's cool.
Yeah, Robin's super cool. She
Demetrius,
is the backbone
not so much.
of that entire community. Demetrius,
not so much.
He puts some bats in your cave, and like that's it.
Or mushrooms, which is worse. I always marry Harvey because
that makes sense.
If you know, you know. Are you excited about the 1.6 updates?
I didn't even hear about this.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do
that. Where are we? Compatible with the desktop app? I sure as shit hope so.
See, that I feel like is great because we were talking about menu diving, it being a hassle.
Yeah.
If you can like set everything up on your laptop or on your PC beforehand, then that's great.
Yeah. I wonder if you can actually like use the app on the PC. I guess I would assume you can use it without the. Do you think the Tone Master have to be plugged in to like program it?
It says it has a Bluetooth wireless connection. That's for streaming audio. So, I would assume if it doesn't explicitly say Wi-Fi connectability, then it's probably you have to have it plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 500 user presets. That's a good number. I would say if it was over 100, I'd be like, that's not enough.
Now,
and that's like wild to say.
Yeah.
That 100 would not be enough, but for a lot of people, it wouldn't.
Yeah, and this is actually something that I'm curious about and why I think a lot of people are choosing like the Neural DSP over even, say, the Line 6 Helix is because of the user presets. They've created this whole ecosystem where, guitar players like Pliny or Tim Henson, they can say like, hey, if you like this tone, go download my Neural DSP.
Line 6 has that.
Do they have that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, because you can. It was when I talked to my rep over there. He's like, do you do presets? Because you can sell presets. You can sell them.
Okay.
And he's like, it's a good way to make money.
Yeah.
So.
But do you think that they're going to be able to get the same sort of ecosystem built around this one?
I'll tell you what, they already do because it's available with the Mustang.
Okay.
And if you have Fender Play on the Mustang, I sound like I'm a shill, but actually the truth is my mom just I gave her my Mustang amp and she used Fender Play, so I know this because of her.
That's so cool, your parents play.
It's my mom.
Yeah.
So she could like be like, I want to learn how to play this David Bowie song, and they'd be like, and you can go ahead and download the Tone Print or whatever it's called. And so you can get like the sound or some really close approximation of what you would expect to hear on Bowie's record.
That's awesome. I think that's really
cool.
Good to hear because that's when I see something new coming out like this. That's what I wonder is if it's going to be able to compete in that same marketplace of like, I don't know, signature sounds.
Yeah, I think it will, especially if Fender has so many artists. I bet they would really like try to work with as many of those as possible to be like, hey, her.
Yeah.
Can we do this so you could make money? Like, if we slap your name on it, we pay you a royalty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they have the resources. It just depends on if they. I think they could have the resources. It depends on what they allocate those resources that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bluetooth wireless connection for streaming audio from a mobile device. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you can play Spotify through it?
Yeah, so my mom uses that for playing along to a song.
Okay.
So that's how she would use it. Or I think what you could do is play some, like, pick your own pre-show.
Yeah. That's nice that that's a thing, because I remember very specifically, like, hooking up an iPod to my friend's Lentic Spider using
my
an aux cable.
Dude, also, those Mustang amps, they are essentially just really large Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
So that's one way to use it. Get a 100-watt Bluetooth speaker.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Stereo 1/4-inch headphone output for silent practice.
Mm-hmm.
And compatible with the Mission Engineering expression pedal for real-time control. Like it's a separate expression pedal. I wish it was built in.
Yeah.
But I guess that'd be a little pod go-y, I guess.
It would be, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I wish it were built in if they're gonna already make it compatible with these parameters.
That's 7-inch color touchscreen. That's cool.
That looks nice. And the scribble strips, I like how legible those are.
Yeah, with the colors on the buttons too.
Yeah.
6,000 IRs. Yeah, these are slight variations. It really you weren't joking about half an inch. Did you see that?
That's insane.
It's literally half an inch. That's amazing. And then those loops, left stereo, right. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a cool product. It's just like, is it too late to the market?
Yeah.
Do people like buy it at this price? Like, could they have made it cheaper? I don't know. Maybe. Like, if you make it too cheap, people will just think it's cheap.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
But I mean, it's a super cool unit. I'm excited to try one out whenever they put up the display stand at Guitar Center, because they're going to do one.
They fully are. Well, maybe we'll talk about that later too. But this Fr10, you can see kind of the speaker situation in there.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love that it looks like an amp.
Yeah, so I don't know if this will work at all, but I'm just going to try it. Did it refocus, Rick? But yeah, it does look like an amp, and it has onboard EQ and stuff, and a little kickback.
That's nice.
So yeah, it has onboard EQ,
More
volume.
amps need the kickback.
They do.
They really do.
They really do. I need it, and it's $500 is not that bad. I don't. If you're already paying like $700, it just like makes it a $2,200 investment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an investment, and you have to be damn sure that this is what you want and that you'll get your money's worth out of it.
And if it's exactly what you're looking for, though, you won't have to buy gear for,
Ever.
at least in terms of amps and pedals, for a very long time till support is cut.
Yeah, so the unit is under 9 pounds, I think they said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Fr10 is 26 pounds with a tilt back, classic Fender design, and 3-band active EQ and cut control.
That's super cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm going to say it's cool. Mm-hmm. I would love to try one.
Yeah. I mean, even the fact that it weighs that little, 9 pounds for the actual Tone Master, and then what'd you say for the speaker?
500
pounds.
Oh,
like,
26. Oh my God.
500 pounds.
Sorry.
Yeah. Already, like, if you want to play a Fender Twin, but you don't want to lift a Fender Twin, dude, like.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think we've talked about that Tone Master Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if any of you get to try it out, maybe let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, I got to check out Ryan Burke's video. It's next on my list. But I've seen a few, and everyone seems really happy with them.
That's awesome. I'm going to go check those out after this, then.
Yeah, for sure. After lunch.
Yes.
So everybody out there, please check out Nisebelle on YouTube and Instagram. And anything else?
No, I mean, come on over to the channel, check me out on Instagram, and otherwise, tune into the next episode.
Yeah, for sure. Subscribe, obviously, and get notifications so that I gotta stop pointing with that finger. So everyone who's listening is not looking is going to be a little bit confused, but I'll post a picture. for you guys. Well, check us out on Patreon. It's patreon.com/getoffset. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to our exclusive Discord server and a sticker. I'm pretty sure it's $10 level now. It includes a mug. I'm working on more stuff for the Patreon, so be on the lookout for that. They have merch at getoffsetpodcast.com/shop. Please like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you. That's extremely helpful for the monetization of this podcast. Well, I've probably already said it, but I'll say it again to everybody out there. Thanks for listening/watching. Thanks for understanding. And until next time, my name is Emily.
And I'm Nisebelle.
Goodbye.